talk about this AZ, man.
Let's talk about
Let's talk about this AZ album, man. AZ
it.
dropped Doe or Die 2. And, we've been waiting on this forever. Some people say they've been waiting for this for 42 years. I saw a tweet that said that.
Yeah,
But
very.
AZ released the track list. I'll throw the track list up here. And everybody was intrigued by some of the features. I think the song with Jaheim came out first. The Will,
Yeah,
they had a video for that. That shit was dope. Rick Ross
was
is on the album. Conway
is
the Machine and Lil Wayne are on the same song on there. Dave East is on the album, and even T Pain made the album. So look, man, when you
production top notch. Bink, Buck Wild,
yes,
Pete
yes,
Rock, Alchemist.
yeah, I don't want to miss that. Yeah.
Yeah,
What did you think
A1.
about the album?
Mike, highly impressed. Second best album of his career.
Mm, I
It's
think
the
it's
second best
very
album of his career.
impressive at this stage in his career. And I think we just talked about this Wednesday. We were talking about the fact that right now, it's probably been the most flooded hip hop has been in a good sense, where you got guys from 18 to 50 something putting out quality work. Nobody feels out of place. This is a grown man hip hop effort. It's no reaching. It sounds good to the ear, man. Very good production. The features made sense. They went right where they were supposed to go. I loved it.
Fit. I love it too,
The
Mike.
bars were there. Conway has a
So,
potential verse of the year on there.
so Mike, this is so did Wayne. I want to talk about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mike, this is the this right now is the surprise of the year.
Oh, definitely. What do y'all think in the chat about
This
this,
is the
man? People
surprise of the
said,
year
let's
so
talk
far.
about it. It said, Terminator said AZ album felt like it should have dropped 22 years ago, but it was dope. Lil Wayne murdered the song. K. Thompson
Told you.
said Wayne is on everyone's album. LOL.
Wayne,
Donna
we
Lee
want to talk about
said
Wayne right quick. Wayne 4 for 4 this year, Mike. We was talking about that behind the scenes. Wayne 4 for 4 this year, looking
he is.
sharp.
LP
Yeah.
says Pete Rock dropped some of his best beats in years on this.
Well, it's only one beat, but yes.
Hey man, Pete Rock made damn Brutus. For those that don't know,
You want to know what? This beat might be a little better than the beat the Brutus, actually.
you know me. I'm a super Pete Rock fan, man. I fuck with Pete Rock, and just about everything he drops is dope, man. And he's been doing it forever. He doesn't get the props he deserves. So, but yeah,
Ooh.
you want to
You
talk
want
about
to
Wayne being 4 for 4? Is that where you want to start?
hold on real quick? You want to know what one of my favorite Pete Rock beats is, Mike?
What's that?
Show Off with Wale on the Smoke DZA album.
Ooh,
I
beat is
love
crazy.
Show Off. That beat is a monster of a record.
I'm gonna go back a little bit. I think one of his most underappreciated joints is True Master, man. That beat is
Oh, Mike, don't
fucking
get me
sick.
started. That True Master better not be underappreciated.
It is underappreciated, man. People
Are you
don't talk about
serious?
True Master enough, man. That beat is sick.
Classic, instant classic,
Sick, man.
instant. From the moment the beat drops, Mike, it's an instant classic. Stop that.
I know last year, and we're gonna talk about our yearbook too, but last year you gave Rick Ross the featured artist of the year. Is Lil Wayne impinging on that for this year? Wayne just jumped on the Tyler and showed out, jumped on the
Show
West
out,
Side Gun. He did his
show
thing
out,
on the Drake album, and now he's on the AZ album.
showed out.
Yeah, man, Wayne is 4 for 4 right now. But yeah, what are some of your thoughts, initial thoughts from the AZ album? I'm gonna let you have the floor.
Uh, I think it's an album of the year contender because right now I would put it right next to Sky Zoo's All the Brilliant Things and probably slightly ahead, which would mean I would have it as the fifth best album this year, which means it would be an album of the year contender. And it's a phenomenal piece of work for the most part. It made me go listen to Doe or Die today, and here's why. I needed to
Mhm.
know that Doe or Die was better than this project after listening to this project a couple times. And that's saying a lot, Mike, because I want to talk about this briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why rating stuff properly when it comes out matters. When Doe or Die came out, Doe or Die got 4 mics in the source. That's not a 4 mic album, Mike. I listened to Doe or Die today. That's a 4.5. Mike album. Mike, let's listen to some of the records that are on the first Doe or Die. Give Me Yours. You remember Give Me Yours with
Yeah.
Nas on the hook? That's a banger, Mike. If I'm not mistaken, Buck Wild maybe. Like Give Me Yours, Mike. Rather Unique with Pete Rock.
Yeah.
Mike, More Money, More Murder, More Homicide. The Back and Forth with Nas. Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
The record Doe or Die. Your World Don't Stop. Your World Don't Stop was killing the Clue and like the Flex mixtapes.
Yeah. No, you're right.
We can't win. I feel for you, Mike. Ho Happy Jackie's better than Black Girl Lost. That's what I found out today when I was listening to Doe or Die today. I'm like, Ho Happy Jackie better than Black Girl Lost.
No, you're right.
Mike, Uncut Raw. Oh, he ballistic on there, Mike. Can't too many dudes rap like that on Uncut Raw.
That's an easy 4.5 Mike album.
It's an easy 4.5 Mike album. So the fact that they gave it 4, they were just comparing him too much to Nas and Illmatic too much.
Yeah,
that's a
and they were comparing him to his Life's a Bitch verse, and the fact that he was on Illmatic worked against him in that aspect.
He held up that standard on Doe or Die. Mike, go listen to him on Uncut Raw and Rather Unique.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Doe or Die.
Well, you know what I was going to say too.
With a man named Giuliani, you can try to blind me, analyze but can't define me. My words define, heavily entwined with Gandhi, sparks from feeble. I leave your nostrils hard to breathe through because my cerebrals is more of a high plane in the Hebrew. My mic devotion brings out my deepest emotions, overdosing, wanna be voxing, sending them through convulsion. Stop that, Mike.
Yo, man, some people say that AZ is the most underrated MC ever. I can see that.
Crazy.
Yo, even this being considered number 2 is high marks because Pieces of a Man is highly regarded.
Mike, I was going to this immediately. My thought was that this may not have a couple of the highlights that are on Pieces of a Man, but beginning to end, it's better. Pieces of a Man just had some stunning moments like How You Living, I'm Known, So-Sa. Yeah, I remember. Like I'm Known's one of my favorite AZ records. Laid Up with the Skinny Chick, Bailey's with the Henny mixed. I remember I'm Known. Like, no, he's spitting crazy on Pieces of a Man. This is a better album.
So, what's your favorite song on this album so far?
Ooh, you want to know what? I like Different.
You like Different?
Different. Check Me Out. Like, I always try to go to the artist records, like, because here's how I feel about features, especially when like people come and deliver on features. It's like, oh, well, you're supposed to do that. That's what a feature is for. So it's like, of course, Ritual with Conway and Wayne is one of the best records. Blow That Shit with Dave East, Mike, you're right. Blow That Shit might be the highlight of the album.
I like that song. I'm not even super high on Dave East like that. I like Dave East.
I fuck with Dave East more than you do, but even I was surprised that Blow That Shit. I'm like, damn, they sound good together. This working.
Yeah. The production on this album is really, really dope, man. He did an awesome job.
Never Enough, The Wheel, Just For You, Mike. It's got fire everywhere. I
mean, I think it's an album of the year candidate. I'm putting this around like a 4.5. I don't want to sit here and overreact or anything, but
no, that's where I have it.
Yeah,
I have it rated the way that its predecessor should have been rated in 1995, 4.5.
Unfortunately, this album's missing Nas, but other than that, man, I mean, I think that
Pete Rock took care of that with the sample.
Yeah,
Pete Rock took care of that on the sample with Check Me Out.
He did. I love it, man.
That's an old Nas sample, Mike. That's from Halftime, Mike.
Yeah, people are saying, Asiatic was pretty dope too. Yes, it was, man.
Asiatic would be 4th.
Yeah. This man has a catalog, man.
He has a catalog. So, Mike, when you hear somebody like AZ who has Easy, Mike, and I'm saying this, and this is no disrespect today, that verse on Life's a Bitch is easily one of the 10 best verses of all time.
It is.
Still to this day.
I think so. He
has that in his back pocket.
Or at least 10 best featured verses. I'll put it that way.
No, Mike, that's one of the 10 best verses ever, period.
Visualizing
the realism of life in actuality. Fuck who's the baddest. Your personal status depends on salary. And my mentality is money orientated. I'm destined to live the dream for all my peeps who never made it. Because we were beginners in the hood as 5%ers. But something must have got in us because all of us turned to sinners.
Yeah, that's a dope verse.
There's not 10 verses better than that ever written. No, there's not.
Nah, that's a great verse.
So he's the author of that. He's also the author of 4 great projects now. Like 2 really stellar projects, both of the Doe or Dies. and Asiatic and Pieces of a Man. So
Hey,
where is he?
where is he on an all-time list? What
Hold on,
say
hold on, hold
you
on,
guys in
hold
the
on,
chat?
hold on,
Because
hold
we
on.
got people in the chat.
Because Mike, he's really the only guy walking around that can say, no, 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 I've stunted on Nas live on record a few times.
Yeah.
He's
And
the only
on
guy walking around like that.
and on the
Mike,
best hip hop album ever, or some would say
Life's
the
a
best hip
bitch.
hop
Mike,
album. Yeah.
Life's a bitch. Even if a lot of people feel like that's a tie, and that's cool if you feel that way, but he still got him on the flyers, and he got him on Full Circle, and some of those back and forths they had, it was A2. You know, like A right there with Nas on Phone Tap.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we never got a duo album from them. That would have been
Need that
awesome.
album.
And you know what? It's interesting, man, that both of them dropped quality albums in 2021. I wouldn't be disappointed if we even got that duo album now.
You
I
want to
would
know
be
what's crazy?
fine with that.
Yeah. No. I
I
told you
mean,
Mike AZ's verse on Full Circle was probably the best verse on King's Disease last year.
everybody in
AZ's
the chat is, not to cut
I
you off,
lost
people in the
spurs,
chat are
I
talking about,
word when I evolved the higher God emerged, deserved more. Yeah, Mike. AZ had the best verse on King's Disease last year.
people in the chat are talking about the best albums of 2021 so far. Let's go into that.
Let's go. King's
Let-
Disease 2 at number 1. Bo Jackson by Boldy James number 2.
You got Bo Jackson at number 2?
Yeah. Isaiah Rashad, The House is Burning number 3.
You got that over AZ?
Tyler the Creator, Call Me If You Get Lost, because I need to hear the AZ some more. It just came out today.
Okay.
That's not, like the AZ just came out. I've listened to it twice.
Okay. That's fair.
So I don't want to throw it all the way up yet and discredit the work these other guys have done.
Okay.
Because my early thoughts are that it's a 4.5. I kind of felt like the Tyler and the Isaiah were 4.75.
Okay.
And
the Tyler was eyebrow raising from jump.
It was. It's lost a little steam, but the quality is still there. But here's what I will tell you about the AZ. The degree of difficulty. We got to start discussing this with, I don't know how to say it.
That's how I feel.
These old-ass rappers coming through in the clutch like this,
That's
Mike.
how I feel.
And so, Boldy is still in his prime, would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Tyler and Isaiah for certain.
Yeah.
This ain't AZ
people are bringing
prime.
up Banks' album too, and there's a degree of difficulty with the Banks album too.
There's a degree of difficulty. I just don't. That album didn't hold up well over a course of time. It's still a really solid project. It's going to definitely be one of the 20 best albums this year, in my opinion. But if y'all think that the Banks album is going to make anybody's top 10 list, you just really ain't been listening to rap this year, because it's going to be hard for it to do that with the guys that are about to drop. Just in all honesty, unless all those guys disappoint. Like, what's the chance Conway, Pusha T, and Kendrick are going to disappoint? And not all three.
Darnell Baxter says Tyler album aged fast for me. Michael Sanders said Boldy James, West Side Gun, Isaiah Rashad, and AZ. Go ahead.
No. That's what I mean. It aged fast. That's why I put that's why I would probably have the Isaiah ahead of the Tyler. Yeah. It did age fast.
Yeah. All right. Well, shit. I guess we're gonna have to give the AZ a couple of weeks, but I think it's gonna age pretty well. You know what? This would be a segue into the yearbook too, man. For the people in the chat who weren't with us last year, what me and Coop did, we were like, you know what? We're gonna wrap up this whole year in one tangible yearbook, so people can go back and look at the year for what it was while it was actually happening and make sure it's documented. So all these conversations that we're having, we're gonna put this in the 2021 yearbook. And yeah, we want you guys' help too, just to let us know what albums need to be in that top 20, that top 10. What are the top 10 verses of the year? Because what we do last year, we did like the top 10 verses. How many did we end up keeping?
No, I think we did 20. We
About
did 20 packs.
verses. Yeah, because the whole theme was 20. Yeah, so yeah.
I'll tell you what's going to probably happen this year that didn't happen last year, that I kind of wanted to happen. We needed to get rolling. We're going to have to pick 50 songs, not 20.